I've enjoyed myself as I've come to the Ospreys and seen the work you're doing with the forwards, especially the young boys and things, and we've had some good results recently. And how happy are you with especially the internationals being away? That pack in general?
Yeah, I think we've done okay. I think it's a great opportunity for some of the young players, in terms of Joe Rees, who've come on and have a pretty positive impact against the Ulster game. It's good to see Aaron Jarvis, who's come from the Premiership, still a young guy.
Yeah.
So, but on the other hand, it would be nice to see Scott Baldwin, who's had a few injuries. But, in terms of the performance of the pack, I think we've done okay. But what I'm more than pleased about is that, there's a common language amongst the boys. I think we understand what we're trying to achieve. Whether we achieve that or not is you can't really bank on, but the fact is we're trying to do the same things at the same time, and that's a positive.
Yeah, so since I've been here, I've seen the young boys like Kingy and them boys really step up and learn a lot of positions and really play for the Ospreys. He doesn't mind where he plays, he doesn't care, and I think that's the spirit which definitely I see in a lot of players. I mean, if you asked a prop to play 7, he probably would for you.
Yeah,
it's positive.
And like I was saying, if you wanted to be a young player, then come to the Ospreys because you have an opportunity.
Definitely, yeah, I agree.
And James King is a shining example of that. He's played 4, 5, and 6 for us in a short period of time, yeah. And each time he's done it, he's known his roles inside out. And that's the measure of the youngsters we have coming through. They learn a good culture, and they learn what's acceptable, yeah, and what's not from some of the senior players who are here, and hopefully that sort of legacy will be here long after the likes of myself and Johnno are gone.
Having played for another Welsh team and seeing the Ospreys play a lot, and the amount of young talent, especially in the front row, that are coming through, without giving it away, the secret, and what would you think is the recipe of success that you boys have definitely got at this club for the front row?
I don't think it's a secret, and firstly we have a lot of talent in the area. We have a lot of guys physically who can play the position. The principles of front row play here are, we try to make them as simple as we can. We try to make them so that the language that the players use is the same, and we have the principles that we're trying to get 8 people to do the same thing at the same time. And if that happens, then and our front rowers have a good shape about them, then we're going to get positive results. But it's a lot of it's about the culture, about the people who have played here for a few years, and what they say and what they do.
Yeah.
And again, regarding other aspects of our forward play, what's acceptable and what's not. We're fortunate to have role models like Paul James, Duncan Jones, Adam Jones. They're very positive, and we've got Mev, who's come over the last couple of seasons again, who's a positive role model to the players.
Yeah, I was going to say, I haven't trained with Bearman, any of the boys yet, but Mev seems to have a lot of time. He will step aside and he'd bring someone over, and he would happily, whether it's pouring down the rain, he'd happily stand there for 10 minutes and say to you, this is what you should do, this is what you should do. Then it's almost like we need our coach, but we also need them boys to step up because of the volume of players you have here, which is it's really good to see from my point of view, coming from almost a completely different culture.
Yeah, well, if you saw Paul James and Duncan Jones and Adam, they do the same thing. Yeah. There's a pride about their work, and hopefully we're building a reputation of a team that do have a strong scrum. And as these boys know, reputations are hard earned and easily lost, yeah. and they don't want to give any team a reason to outdo you in those areas. And like you say, there's a lot of pride from the players, but again, the striving is always to get better and trying to be a very dominant force.
I'd like to say I think you're being too humble there in regard to, it isn't about luck, it isn't. If you took cold hard numbers, all our front rowers are local kids. They are. We lost Craig Mitchell this year because we had to, as in Craig had greener pastures to go to, and we can't hold on to them all. That's the reality of it. But we make investments. We make investment in time. We went to the market and sourced Mev out for his intellectual property, his last year of playing, but to develop young players. We went to the market to get Aaron, who's a local Welsh kid that we brought back into here, and Joe Reese and the likes of that to develop it. If you want to be good at something, make it more important. And that is something that we try to do here. We make front rows important. And when you look at our contribution to Welsh rugby in an area that notoriously we're not strong at, we're producing a large percentage of all the front rows, whether it's hookers or props. And we would have had five or six, if we include Mitch, in that World Cup team if Hibbs didn't get injured as well, and they're all local kids. So it isn't by luck, it isn't just because we've got the population here. Everyone's got the similar population. We're, as we keep reminding people, the third biggest region. Not the first, not the second, we are the third, and we produce the most. It isn't luck, it's design. And this year we went to the market to invest in Mev to teach, just like you said, for the benefit. Joe Reese will never be able to replicate what Mev can teach him in a game. So it's an opportunity to do that. It isn't ideal for Mev, but it's perfect for the Ospreys. So Joe Reese will get those benefits, as will the team. So it isn't just through luck, there is a strategy for that. And I just think that the gratitude that Welsh Rugby owe the Ospreys for the production of front rows will be well past my use date, because we're producing them more, and there's more in the 10 as well.
Right. How important to yourself and the team is the strategy and the tight eight of the scrum? How important is it to you and what you want to do with this team going forward?
Well, when you try to design what the team is, sometimes financial restraints dictate some things. What I've learned since I've been in this position is average backs on the market are very, very expensive. They are. And to go to the market for average backs would nearly offend me a little bit. We went to load up our forwards because we learned that we lose a fair few, and we want to make it competitive, and we need a strong pack. We need an identity that says that we are a force to be reckoned with in that area. To do that, we loaded up the forwards because we got good players, competitive players, and it's competition for spots, and it's imperative that we have that. Probably at the expense, when you look at it, the loss of Hook, Phillips, Gavin Henson and Lee Byrne, significant numbers in the backs that we haven't replenished yet. We haven't done that because we want to remain very, very strong in an area, and I think the easiest area for us to remain strong in at the moment is forward play. It's significant, especially now the weather's turning. It's significant that we get a reputation that we have got depth, strength and athletes to compete at all levels. For us, it was a strategy moving forward, in the hope that we uncover one or two young backs that will develop into something that will prosper on the back of dominance. It's far easier to grow the back when the front's strong. So we've gone to load the front in the hope that we grow the back, and I think that's part of the strategy. It's important that blokes like yourself finally run out and get to play. Who are you, by the way? But anyway, all that aside, it is because that's why we went to the market to do that. We want good, strong athletes to take us forward, for the younger backs to prosper.
Because you know, as looking from outside, I mean, for me, Webby and Biggs are probably for me the best 9 and 10 in the league at the moment. I think they're both very, very good players, both young, but with kind of old heads on the shoulder.
Well, I think that's good. And
it's a tribute to the coaching, it's a tribute to letting them play young. I mean, how long has Biggs been playing 10?
Well, I mean, that's his third year, isn't it? Fourth year, and he's only 22.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, look, the reality is you've got to develop from when we have, and we've shown straight away except for Hanno Dirksen, who is a 20-year-old kid who can qualify for Wales next year. Every kid in our 23 at the moment can play for Wales tomorrow. Now, we haven't filled a foreigner boot at all. We haven't done that because we want to make a competition. We want to uncover some kids. I a moral obligation to develop for Wales. I do. I feel passionate that this nation should develop. We should do that. And this opportunity that's been given to us through the World Cup has uncovered some really young prospects. I think Tom Isaac's another kid that we're going to be talking about. So from that, and I think Richard Fussell's been exemplary since he's been here. So we're going to uncover more, it is, but what we want is uncover kids that were prepared to fight for their positions. There's no given in life, and I like the fact that we are doing it. I don't think we get enough kudos for it. I find it quite ironic that that's not the case.
As we are now with the pack we've got at the moment with the internationals away, are you satisfied and happy with the progress in which we've made, and where do you hope to take as a pack with the internationals back? Where do you hope to take us as forwards?
Well, firstly for the boys who are here and will be the pack for the majority of this league campaign, because our Welsh boys will be away for significant periods of time. I think it's important that they set their stall out in terms of the consistency of what they do, and if they're consistent in what they do, then I'll be happy. And you're always trying to push the boundaries. You're always trying to get things going. We want the players to be responsible. We want players to be to drive forward the culture of this place. It's too easy to be reliant on your so-called stars, your so-called internationals. We want to be self-reliant, so when these boys come back, they're fitting into a system, not creating a system.
Yeah.
And so therefore there comes a level of ownership, and we're trying to get the balance right between giving the players ownership of what they do with the responsibility as well, and that can be one to balance, which is tough.
It's a tough, it's hard job.
And but hopefully they will be in a place that when the internationals come back, they will fit into our system and enhance our system, and hopefully that will be the case. And if that is the case, then I will consider this forward pack to be a success.